Hello and welcome to 50 Fabulous Knits. My name is Pia. I am a Danish knitter coming to you from northern Italy, where I live with my husband Peter and my little dog Miss. I am, as always, so very happy that you're joining me here today. I really hope that this episode can be a little pocket of calm in this craziness that is the world today. I do have a full show for us, so make sure that you're knitting comfortably and let's get into things. Today I am wearing my Birds of a Feather shawl by Andrea Mowry. I knit this in my own hand-dyed yarn. This one is the colorway The Little Mermaid, the Lille Havfru, on my sock-based Storm. And the mohair is just a kid silk from Drops, the white one. I think this and my wing shawl are probably my most worn shawls because they're so easy to wear. They're warm, they're long, they're luxurious to put on, but they're not bulky. I can wear them over a shirt or under a coat, and yeah, I just really love that. Last time I recorded, I showed you 3 works in progress. I'm gonna show you today the exact same things, only this time they're finished objects. First, the finished object that I'm probably most excited about, the socks that I actually enjoyed knitting. So these started out as the Midnight Dancer socks by Sari Norlund, but I changed them a lot. The biggest change was that I decided to try an afterthought heel. And last time I recorded, I think I had finished one sock but hadn't put in the heel yet. And I was like, let's see if this is still my favorite way of knitting a sock after I put in the heel. It is. This heel fits my foot perfectly, and I find it very easy to knit. And I still enjoy being able to just zoom around on the entire sock. I use my 5-inch circulars and I just knit round, round, round without giving any thought to it. And then I put in the heel after. So I finished both of them and I have worn them. They're a little dirty. I'm sorry. I couldn't not wear them. Of course, I could have washed them yesterday, but I didn't. My socks are here. I am really loving them. And I think I mentioned last time that I used a tutorial from Earth Tones Girl to figure out how to put in the afterthought heel, how to measure for it. And I'll link that tutorial in the description box below. Since I finished one pair of socks, I of course had to cast on for a new pair. So here we go. One sock and the other one on the go. And you can see again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm using my 5-inch circulars. I'm just knitting around. This time, however, I tried to put in scrap yarn for where I wanted the heel. I don't know why, because I didn't find it difficult to pick up stitches without the scrap yarn, but I just wanted to try this method and see if I like that. These are rather long socks, longer than I usually prefer my socks, but I want these to go in my boots and then I can like fold the cuff down and be warm and snug around the ankles. So I'm really looking forward to those. The yarn that I'm using is again my own hand-dyed yarn. This time in a colorway that was, it's not a colorway, it's just a mishap in the dye pot. I really love this color, but I wouldn't know how to recreate it. So I thought, well, then let me just use up the skein that I messed up with. So yeah, socks on the go, and I think I'll be able to finish these tonight. It doesn't take a lot of time, this sock knitting, which is part of the charm. I'm gonna be a sock knitter. I can feel that. I also showed you my Aurora sweater last time. I was knitting on that, and here it is in all its glory. This piece has turned out exactly like I wanted it. Can you be in love with this sweater? I think I'm a little bit in love with this sweater. It's everything I wanted. It has this high turtleneck that I can fold down if it gets too hot. It has a very wide body and relatively narrow sleeves so that they can go under a coat, no problem. I don't like a sweater with too deep a raglan and too bulky a sleeve if I'm going to use it under a coat, but this one can definitely go under a coat. On the body there is some quite interesting shaping here that really gives a beautiful fit to this sweater. And as you can see, I have also allowed some of the ribbing to go all the way up here under the arm and all the way into the ribbing on the sleeves or the cuffs here. Yeah, it has some short row shaping also, so it's a little longer on the back. And it's just wonderful. I cannot wait to wear this sweater. I knit this with some Drops Baby Merino in the light gray colorway. I'm gonna put the colorway number in the description box. I held it together with my own hand-dyed mohair, and I think last time I said that it was the colorway Porcelain. It's not. It's the colorway Guldstøv. So it gives this very subtle, warm gray tone to the merino, and it's just, yeah, I love this. I already sent it out in testing. I still need testers for some of the larger sizes, so if you're interested, please send me an email on pia@fiftyfabulous.dk so we can get this thing tested and out and about. Since I finished this one, I of course cast on another one. Do you notice a theme for this episode? Knitting and re-knitting. In my beautiful new project bag made from this gorgeous Marimekko fabric, which just takes me back to my childhood instantly, I have the second version of my Aurora sweater. And that is Yeah, so special, and definitely not a colorway that you're used to seeing in my hands. Isn't it amazing? Wow. What about this color, huh? Isn't it just... I love it. I really, really love the color, even though it is so different from anything I have in my wardrobe. Yeah, I do helical knit this just to make sure that I don't run into any problems with different colors on the different skeins. I don't think I have to, but I do it just to make sure. And yeah, I just separated for the sleeves, so I still have lots of wonderful knitting to do. And I'm really enjoying working with this yarn. I think I showed you the yarn last time. I have mohair everywhere. It's yarn that I picked up when I was in Texas. One of the few days that I wasn't sick over there. I picked up 6 skeins of this beautiful yarn. I found it in my local yarn shop, if you can say that. The McKinney Knittery. It's a yarn that I haven't seen it before. Less traveled yarn. It's 100% superwash merino from Argentina, and it's a worsted weight. The colorway is pumpkin spice. So yeah, I am really enjoying working on that one. It's of course miles and miles of stockinette, which is wonderful TV knitting, but there is also all the time just a little bit of interest, like some ripping or some shaping, and just enough to keep my attention without demanding that I focus only on the knit. So yeah, perfect mix, I think. And I often knit a version of whatever pattern I have out in testing, knit it together with the testers, just so that, I don't know, I want to make absolutely sure that I know exactly how the pattern is to work from, and how the fit, what the fit is like in the different sizes. And yeah, so my wonderful team of testers are of course helping me a lot, but I also want to try it a second time myself, most of the time at least. So yes, another knit that I am really enjoying working on. The last thing that I showed you on the last episode was a hat. I was knitting a 1x1 hat, just knitting 1x1 ribbing, and I was talking about how I had some really wonderful ideas for a clever construction, and oh, I would fold it and I would do stuff, and you'd be able to use up all your yarns. And yeah, I lost steam on that one. I started doubting myself. Was this super clever construction all that clever after all? And then I just put it aside, started working on some of the other things. And then one evening I was scrolling through Instagram, as you do, when I saw the Manhattan hat. And I was like, that is so cool. I want that hat. So immediately I pulled out my needles. I ripped back the whole thing, went to Ravelry, bought the pattern, and wanted to cast on, obviously. So if you were to guess, how many stitches should I cast on for the Manhattan hat? Could it be the exact same number as I had cast on for my own idea of a hat? Yeah, of course, because the Manhattan hat is also 1x1 ribbing, and my head is the size that my head is. So of course it was the exact same number of stitches and the exact same stitch pattern. And I had knit 20 centimeter, 8 inches, something like that, and ripped it back just to find out that I was gonna cast on again and reknit the whole thing. So there you have it for impatience, I guess. I don't mind it that much. First of all, I wasn't too happy with my tubular cast on. I think I showed you on the podcast that it was wonky. It wasn't really nice. I think I must have twisted the stitches as I did the setup rows. It didn't look perfect. And I had decided, never mind, it's a hat. Doesn't matter. But of course it matters, because I will always know. So that was one thing that made me okay with the ribbing back. And also, I don't know, I kind of find ribbing back cathartic. I feel lighter after ribbing back. So for that experience, it was okay. Also, it didn't take me a long time. I mean, it is just 1x1 ribbing in the round. It doesn't take forever to knit it. And of course, I finished the hat and I packed it. So I can't show it to you, but I can put a photo. Here is my Manhattan hat. It's a great hat pattern, and I'm gonna, of course, link it in the description box below. I knitted using a lovely yarn that I was gifted a while back from Dream in Color Yarns. They're Jilly base, which is Merino superwash fingering weight in the colorway Violets Blueberries. And I held it double for this hat, which is just perfect. And sticking with the theme for this podcast, I, of course, cast on a new Manhattan hat. But I also packed that one because that's going to be my backup travel knitting. So, can't show you either, but the new one that I cast on is also my own hand-dyed yarn, also from a mishap in the dye pot. I have been struggling with finding the perfect shaded black for my hand-dyed yarn. I have found it and I've had it for a while, but this one and the one that I'm using for the Manhattan hat are some of the first tries. I think, first of all, it was super difficult to make, and I'm not sure I'd be able to recreate it. And also, I think it's a little too busy for what I wanted my black to be. The one that I'm using for my Manhattan hat has a little too much of a reddish orange glow to the black. So the black that I finally was happy with is the one that is called West of the Moon, Westen for Moon, which is it is very similar to this one, just a lot less busy, but it is a shaded grayish black. So yeah, 3 projects that I finished and started version 2 of. I I guess I'm into comfort knitting these days, re-knitting stuff that I already know and know that I will enjoy. But that's okay, isn't it? My last whip was a very spontaneous cast on. I was watching some knitting podcasts and I was watching sweet Amy from The Meaningful Stitch. She was showing her shawl wall. If you haven't seen that episode yet, oh, go watch that because it's a great episode and she has some epic shawls in there. Of course, I needed to cast on a shawl after watching that episode. I mean, how could I not? So, yeah, I'm going to show you the project bag first. It's not really a project bag. It's just a tote bag of my own design. But I really love the text on it. Let me see. Let's see, what does it say? Never without my knitting. I knit when I'm happy. I knit myself happy. I knit because I need to. I knit what I need. When I knit, I put lots of love and dreams into each stitch. My dreams come alive on my needles. I love these totes. They always make me happy and like, oh, all the warm and fuzzies. In it is a shawl. The very beginnings of a shawl that is knit in the round. It has the sticking stitches here. This is my quarantine shawl that I knit 2 years ago, something like that, in the beginning of the pandemic, where I was quarantining in Dubai to be able to come visit my son in Texas. I knit this quarantine shawl inspired by the scarves that the men wear as part of their national costumes down in the UAE. I finished this a long time ago in a much lighter yarn, and I wrote up the pattern. I sent it out into testing, but there were so many problems with the pattern writing that I decided to fix whatever problems was there and then knit a new sample. So I got around to fixing all the problems, and my testers reported back, everything is fine now, everything is working. So all I had to do was knit a new sample. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I went digging through the yarn that I have down here. I don't keep a lot of yarn here. As I've told you before, I don't have much of a stash. I use my web shop as my stash, which is probably not how you're supposed to do. But anyway, I had this Drops Puna, which is a DK weight alpaca yarn. It is everything that alpaca is. It's soft and drapey and warm and absolutely lovely for a shawl. So I decided to go ahead and knit the quarantine shawl in these two. This is the black and this is the white names. But yeah, and I am really enjoying this color work on every round, and this is what I reach for, what I enjoy knitting when I need to take my thoughts away from other things, world. Then I go for this one, and I am enjoying it a lot. And who knows, maybe one day I will actually have knit a sample. I will probably want to retest this shawl. We shall see. For now, I'm just enjoying knitting on it. So thanks to Amy for inspiring me to cast on a shawl. I have so many shawls and I don't wear them all that much, but I think I'm gonna make an effort to wear them more, because today when I'm curled up in this one, I'm just loving it. So I'll try to wear my shawls more often. How about you? I guess you all have lots of shawls. Every knitter, I think, loves knitting a shawl, but do you wear your shawls? Do you wear them enough? Are they part of your go-to wardrobe, or are they just these beautiful little works of art or works of comfort, as it often is with a shawl, that you just enjoy looking at, enjoy touching, and you just enjoy having them in your life? Please let me know in the comments. I hope I'm not the only one who doesn't wear my shawls enough. Remember when I talked about my Manhattan hat, that I had already packed both the hat and the hat number 2? I said that the hat number 2 is going to be my travel knitting, because tomorrow, which is probably today when this video comes out, Peter and I are going to Finland. Yeah, we're also bringing Miss along for the ride, but yeah, we're going to Finland. I am going for the snowshoeing and the reindeer and of course all the northern lights, and Peter is going for some driving thing. I really hope to be able to get my greedy little fingers on some tuku wool while I'm up there. But I do realize that we're going to be all the way up in Lapland, so I am trying to manage my expectations. Anyway, I am going to film while I'm up there so that I can share some footage the next time we will see each other again, which will be for our Knitathon. Next Saturday we have our first Knitathon, 24 hours of happy knitting together. I can see that already around 100 people have signed up to knit with us. If you want to sign up, or if you want to read a little more about the Knitathon, I'm going to put the link in the description box below. I just want to emphasize again that there are no rules here. If you sign up, you're just letting me know, hey, I'm here for the fun. You're not committing to knitting for 24 hours or finishing anything big. You knit for however many hours you want to or are able to. You knit on whatever you want to knit on, or you crochet, you quilt, you spin, you do whatever you want to do, as long as you're here, part of the community. I'm gonna go live. I hope I will figure out how. I am hoping to go live 4 times. Well, 5 times. I want to go live every 6 hours, and then of course I also want to wrap the whole thing up. One thing to be aware of is that I picked the date where we, in Europe at least, change from winter time to summertime. So there's going to be something about the clock. I think is it at 2 o'clock? It will suddenly be 3 o'clock. So if that is the case where you are in the world, please adjust accordingly. On the website, I have put a schedule of who goes live when, and the schedule that is written in Danish has the winter and summer times, But the schedule that is written in English just has one timeline. So we start the Knitathon at 3 and we end it at 3 the following day. So please just be mindful of that. There's a couple of other Danish podcasters who have decided to go live as well during these 24 hours. Unfortunately, only one of them will do it in English and Danish. That is Malene from Strik og Musik, and she will be playing some beautiful songs for us just to help the stitches flow from one needle to the other. If you have a podcast and you think, I would like to contribute to the entertainment for those 24 hours, yay! Yay, that would be so great. Please drop me a note at pia@fiftyfabulous.dk. Then I can put your name on the schedule so that people know to look for you. So yeah, every time I go live, I will do a little giveaway. So there's prizes to be had, beautiful prizes. And hopefully there's lots of community and fun and knitty talk. I am so excited for this Knitathon. I really thoroughly enjoyed myself when I did my little private 24-hour Knitathon, but to be doing it together with you guys is just so amazing, and I really, really hope that I will see you there. Remember, it's not necessary to sign up. It's not about committing to some big thing. It's just about having fun, building community, developing the friendships that we have, and yeah, knitting or crocheting or whatever fiber arts as your heart. I am going to end things here. I really hope to see you next Saturday. Until then, be well, happy knitting. Bye for now.